This is the Business Experience Show.
Hi, I'm Lisa Caprelli. This is the Business Experience Show where we interview entrepreneurs, CEOs, and thought leaders. With me today is my co-host, Ryan Hawke East. And today's dream catcher is Clarence Franklin, coach and trainer from More Than a Trainer. Clarence, give us a little bit about your business background.
I've been a personal trainer for 16 years, and I have been a life coach for the last 3 years. So that's my experience in terms of my background in the industry, and it's something that I enjoy doing, and it's something I really enjoy.
What got you into training and life coaching?
Well, I was an athlete growing up, so it was something that I kind of fell into, just having a natural flow of grasp of the things that people needed in terms of changing. So my experience with sports and working with individuals from a personality standpoint was a segue that led me into the position I am today.
What kind of athlete were you growing up?
Growing up, I was a boxer, and I was also a football player.
And how old were you when you started getting into sports? I bet you were probably 5 years old.
Right. You know, my grandfather was a Hall of Fame boxer. His name was Clarence Henry. So ever since I was a youth, ever since I could walk, I was always in the gym. I was always improving body image and playing around with dumbbells and ab machines, not knowing what I was doing. But I was pretty much born and raised in a gym. So this experience or this career that I've fallen into was something that I was pretty much born to do.
And I want to share with listeners that I've been privileged to work with Clarence and know him for at least 11 years now. One of the things that I coin having determinism and being driven is that struggle. Share with us some of the struggles you had growing up.
Well, you know, like most people in life, like all people in life, we all encounter some different type of struggle. So, you know, hardship, that's something that I was able to overcome and endure due to patience, due to experiences with mentors. I was able to kind of guide myself on the right path. You know, a lot of us have struggles in terms of just our day-to-day mindset, our day-to-day thinking, our day-to-day perspective. And no matter where you're from, whether you're from the suburbs or you're from the inner city like myself, it's all about how you're able to grasp the energy, the negative energy, and transition it into something positive. I'm a person that learns from what I see. And, you know, I've had a lot of people that had some adverse situations occur to them, and I was one that chose to go the opposite direction. You know, we all fall, we all falter, we all have hardship, and I'm no different from anyone else that has encountered those struggles. But I think what enabled me to muster strength was the fact that deep down in the back of my mind, I knew there was something better. I knew there was a different position, a different opportunity, a different outlook. And I knew it was going to be a hard fight, but, you know, it's one day at a time. And keeping perspective and vision in terms of what the major goal is. Nothing's going to be handed to you. And I've seen a lot of people take the quick route, the quick road, and it usually leads to demise. So, you know, it's slowed down my train of thought. It slowed down my actions. So just being able to learn, you know, from other people's mistakes and trying not to make the same mistakes.
What was your the first moment of which you realized that you have that ability to see something in somebody else and bring out that potential?
Me always having a strong personality. I've always had a passion to support and help others. I wasn't always aware of how to guide others, but, you know, through playing sports and having good mentors that instructed me and put me in leadership positions and gave me the power and authority to guide others. You know, I took that pressure and I took that responsibility to heart. And, you know, through sports, I was able to truly work on, you know, my leadership ability. And that's where I learned that, you know, I do have a gift because, you know, being a captain of a football team and having the responsibility to getting all 11 people to think alike and act alike, it kind of taught me that I did have an ability to lead. So understanding that I had an ability to lead, I nurtured that, and I started to learn from other leaders and become more keen and more observant of how other leaders lead, and I just started to add to that and nurture that behavior.
Clarence, what made you decide to finally make a shift in your life and become an entrepreneur and not be a 9-to-5 employee?
Well, the saying, build your dream or build another man's dream. So, working for a corporation for 10 years, I was able to see how low that ceiling can be.
Right.
And having drive and having faith. I mean, without faith, nothing is possible. So having faith in the drive to succeed was something that enabled me to take the leap and risk to be an entrepreneur. And it's been a good leap, and it's been a long road, but it's been a successful travel.
I love it, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of people that do take that leap to become an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is in my DNA, and I'm just, I've paid the hard work of putting in those dues of what it takes, because it's not easy. There's no free ride. You're working actually harder than you've ever thought possible.
Correct.
I'm sure you can relate.
Yes.
Give us some stories of some of the, well, you don't have to say who they are, but I know you do, you are privileged to train and mentor and coach some really high-profile CEOs. Give us example of stories of you working with them and the transformation that you've seen them go through.
Dealing with CEOs, a lot of times our CEOs are talented and equipped in making money. But being a CEO doesn't always mean you have the ability to lead others. Being a CEO doesn't mean you have the ability to have subordinates see your vision. So a lot of times when I'm working with CEOs, I try to digress them and help them understand, the perspective of a subordinate, the perspective of someone that's working under you, the perspective of someone that has a vision, but they're not able to get to where they want to go. And the fact that as a CEO, you have the power to lead and guide much more than just writing a paycheck. So, with my CEOs, I try to keep things in perspective, help them understand the power that they have in terms of sufficing dreams and leading workers to dreams and allowing individuals to get more out of an opportunity than they thought they would get. So, through guidance and through the correct training, a lot of times you get a lot more out of that lemon when you really squeeze it. So opposed to assuming someone's going to work for you, you have to be sure and invest and truly squeeze the lemon to really get the nutrients and to really get the juice out of that lemon.
So what's the first steps you go through when you get a new client like that?
Generally, when I get a new client, I do an assessment, obviously, determine what their goal is. Sometimes they have emotional goals in terms of their vision, in terms of employment, in terms of relationships, in terms of companionship. And then I get other clients that have goals that are cosmetic goals. They're looking to manipulate and change their physical appearance. So based on the different goals that we have, we gear their coaching based on that. So if it's someone that's looking for relationship guidance, a lot of times when we're in a relationship, the change comes from within ourselves. So to have a better relationship, you have to be the best version of yourself. So a lot of times it's helping individuals overcome their insecurities, overcome their low self-esteem, teaching them patience, teaching them guidance, teaching them communication. And that's one method I would use with someone that's looking for evolving an emotional goal. And if I get someone that has a cosmetic goal, I mean, we digress it to something very simple. We teach them how to live, teach them how to be active, teach them how to balance their day, balance their meals, balance their life. And through that experience, they're able to get on the correct path to changing their appearance.
Clarence, where do you draw some of your inspiration, words of wisdom, mentors, books?
I've had a lot of mentors through life. But there's one significant person that I've read in a book, Abraham Lincoln, who says, we learn something from everyone. Mostly what we learn is what not to do. So, reading has been a big asset for me in terms of guidance and understanding. And I learn from everyone. You can learn from a baby. And I try to stay open-minded and grasp as much as I can from as many people as I can. But, if I were to single my mentorship to one individual, I'd have to give it to my grandfather. Someone that took me under his wing, someone that went above and beyond the call of duty, and he was my guardian. And so I learned a lot in terms of sacrifice and hard work and connection and love and relationships. So I would say my grandfather would probably be my biggest mentor that I've had in life.
Oh, that's so sweet. What's his name?
His name is Clarence Henry.
Ah, namesake. Let's talk about some of your books, if you to give names of books that you would recommend.
Okay. Being a coach, being a trainer, we're working with individuals, so we are in a leadership position. So I like to take from other leaders, other sports leaders like Vince Lombardi, Phil Jackson, Lou Holtz, Nelson Mandela, Maya Angelou, the Bible. I try to learn from leaders, from people that have been successful in their leadership, and someone that has proven record, and someone else I forgot to name, who is my most inspirational book that I like to read, is also John Wooden. Nice. So I like to learn from leaders and from people that have proven track records for success, and I like to just follow that mode.
So what does hard work mean for you? I mean, when you're dealing with both physical and mental stresses, it feels like what do you put a value on one or the other? Or?
Yes, indeed. Hard work is sacrifice. Hard work is doing your best. Hard work is being willing to be uncomfortable. Hard work is having a mindset that no matter how hard it is, I'll do my best and I won't fail. Failure is quitting. But, through hard work, we're always going to succeed. You may not succeed today, but you'll succeed tomorrow. So, understanding the journey, understanding the process, combine that with hard work, success and opportunity and glory and winning is on the other end of that. So it's all about, your outlook and your ambition and your willing to sacrifice. So hard work looks different for different individuals, but a way to simplify it is do your best, don't quit, don't fail, and just stay open-minded. And
yeah, that's great. I mean, especially with what you're going through, I'm sure you always hear the saying that not all heroes wear uniforms. And do you feel like you're a hero to some people?
My goal and my ambition is to be a hero. I give my all, I do my best, and I try to connect with people on a personal level. This is my business, but at the end of the day, people care about how much you care. They don't care about how much you know. So, I just try to connect with individuals and treat them as if I would want to be treated, or as if I would want my mom to be treated. And through that, relationships are built and success is accomplished.
That's a great question and answer. I don't know if we'll leave this on the record, but one thing I often say to you, Clarence, in working and training with you is, I'm always have to inspire the CEOs and the clients I work with. I work a lot with them one-on-one, and it becomes more about business. There is a relationship you build, and I'm always pushing others. I'm always drawing from information so I have the right knowledge and right experience. And there's very few people that can get into my brain and give me that mental capacity so that I can go out and, impart wisdom on other people and change lives. And you're one person that does that for me. And I don't know how you do it. I wish there were more people like you. If there was, I wouldn't need you.
Right.
So what do you say to that?
It starts with, if you look at the alphabet, I comes before you. So you have to invest in yourself. You have to want the best for yourself, and you have to be willing to push yourself. So, with that being, the underlining statement, pushing myself to a limit to my greatness, I'm able to push other individuals to their level of their greatness, because it's not about conflict, it's about conversation.
Right.
So sometimes people don't want to hear what they need to hear, and they don't want to see what they need to see because they don't know where they want to go. So as a navigator, I have to have a vision and foresight to understand where other individuals need to go, what other individuals need to hear. And I take that upon myself to be honest, to be truthful, to be compassionate, to be understanding, to be patient, but lastly, be real. And, I like to communicate in a way to get the best out of individuals, because a lot of times we always don't want to hear the truth, but a lot of times we have to deal with it. So, it's just something that understanding that, it's about us growing together. And, I invest in myself, so it's just second nature investing in others.
Man, it sounds like your work never ends. Like, do you have any hobbies?
In terms of hobbies, I have an 8-year-old daughter, so, I invest a lot of time in her, and for me as a life coach, it's about life. So, I try to spend as much time as I can working with other individuals, whether it's donating my time, whether it's volunteering for my daughter, or whether it's working out or reading. So my hobbies are pretty simple, nothing too drastic, not fishing or anything like that. So I enjoy what I do. You do what you love. You don't work a day in your life. So I enjoy being with people, and I enjoy seeing people improve. So
your daughter's listening to this. Maybe 10 years from now, maybe she wants to be an entrepreneur and follow in your footsteps. What words of wisdom would you impart on her?
For individuals inspiring to be entrepreneurs, I would say, rush the knowledge, but don't rush the experience. So grow as much as you can, learn as much as you can, but take your time getting where you need to go. Don't skip stages. Don't bypass things that you need to develop. So, we all have an ambition, and we all have eagerness to become entrepreneurs, to become self-improved or self-employees, but it's a process. And for anyone that's aspiring to become an entrepreneur, understand it's a process. Rush the knowledge, but don't rush the process.
I love it.
That's great. Yeah. Lastly, do you have anything that you would like to say to our audience? Like, what would you say to those people that just aren't feeling it today?
For any listener that is second guessing or isn't feeling the mojo, the mode, the energy, simplify it. Go back to the basics. Forget the money. The money will come. It's about the small things. It's about crawling before you walk. And sometimes you start walking and you forget how to walk. So you have to digress a little bit more. So, it's about making small steps and focusing on the connections, working with the people, having a team of individuals that support you. And with support and with love, you can grow. So a lot of times you have to, take the focus off money and put the focus on people, because people are the ones that drive you. People are the ones that pay you. People are the ones that support you. So, get your focus off the money and focus more on people.
And that serves a purpose in life, and we all need purpose.
Right.
Okay, so based on Ryan's question to you right now, and give us one story where maybe you helped someone that was down and out, and that, working with them and you saw the transformation. Can you give a story of someone you work with?
Right. As a life coach, most of my clients are going through some type of transformation, and that's what my job entails. But, I've worked with at-risk kids that weren't listening to their parents, that weren't connecting to their parents. And, as a liaison, a lot of times things that I do is break down communication lines, help individuals understand what their counterpart is trying to say. So, I have success with youth in terms of communicating with their parents. I also work with couples, individuals, male or female, in terms of, their expectations from their partner, their expectations for themselves. And a lot of times it's helping them understand what communication truly means. A lot of times we want things, but we're not willing to give things. So it's helping individuals understand what they need to give to get.
quick before we end out, where can they find you at, Clarence?
You can find me on Instagram at More Than a Trainer.
There you go. Follow Clarence Franklin on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I know you're on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram.
You got to be on Instagram today. Clarence Franklin at More Than a Trainer. I'm Lisa Caprelli. My Instagram is at Lisa Caprelli. Ryan?
I'm at The Hawke.
There you go. This ends another edition of The Business Experience Show with guest Clarence Franklin, trainer and coach. I'm Lisa Caprelli. Follow me on Instagram at Lisa Caprelli. And thanks to my co-host, Ryan Hawke East.